"Don't cry, ma'am. You can borrow our dad," said the little twins to the lonely woman sitting alone on the park bench, their small voices cutting through the autumn silence like a warm ray of unexpected sunlight. Eleanor had chosen this bench deliberately, tucked away beneath an old oak tree at the far corner of Maplewood Park, where she believed no one would notice. A 53-year-old woman quietly falling apart. She had been coming here every Sunday for the past 3 months, ever since the house stopped feeling like a home, ever since Daniel's side of the bed grew cold and the dining table became a place she could no longer sit at without hearing his laugh echo in the empty room. She had not told her colleagues. She had not told her sister. She had simply learned to carry the grief the way one carries, a stone in a shoe, every step hurting, but pressing on regardless. Today, however, the tears had come without permission, slipping down her cheeks before she could stop them, and she had been too tired to wipe them away. That was when the twins appeared. 2 boys no older than 6, with matching gap-toothed smiles and muddy sneakers, stood directly in front of her, with the fearless curiosity that only small children possess. The one on the left, wearing a red cap, had tilted his head and said those words so matter-of-factly, so purely that Eleanor had not known whether to laugh or cry harder. She blinked, startled, and looked from one small face to the other. Pardon?" she managed, her voice cracking slightly at the edges. "Our dad," repeated the boy in the blue cap, pointing toward a man jogging up the path toward them, slightly out of breath. "He's really good. He fixes everything. He fixed my frog once when it was sad." "Your frog was plastic, Noah," said the red-cap boy seriously, and then looked back at Eleanor. "But he's still really good. I'm Eli." Before Eleanor could respond, the man arrived, tall, broad-shouldered, somewhere in his early 40s, with kind brown eyes that immediately registered the situation with quiet understanding rather than awkward embarrassment. "Boys," he said gently, "you can't just—" He stopped, looked at Eleanor, and then at his sons, and something in his expression softened completely. "I'm so sorry," he said to her, running a hand through his hair. "They have absolutely no filter, but I promise their intentions are always good." "They're wonderful," Eleanor said, and meant it more than any words she had spoken in months. She introduced herself. His name was Robert, a widower. He shared simply and without making it heavy, raising the twins alone for the past 2 years. He sat down on the far end of the bench, not intrusively, just present, while Eli and Noah stationed themselves on either side of Eleanor as though they had appointed themselves her personal guardians. Noah patted her hand with his small, slightly sticky fingers. "Our mommy went to heaven," he said earnestly, "so we know about the sad." The words hit Eleanor somewhere so deep and true that a fresh tear rolled down her cheek. But this time it didn't feel like drowning. It felt like being seen. They sat together for nearly an hour. Robert spoke about his boys, about their Tuesday pancake tradition and their ongoing debate, about whether dinosaurs would make good pets. The twins asked Eleanor if she had any dogs, whether she liked chocolate ice cream, and if she knew how to fly a kite. She laughed, genuinely, fully, the kind of laugh that surprises the body, because it has been so long since it was last invited. When it was time to go, Eli tugged her sleeve with great seriousness. "You can come back next Sunday," he announced, as though this had been formally decided. "We always come on Sundays." Eleanor looked at Robert, who smiled with a quiet warmth that asked nothing and offered everything. "Same bench," he confirmed softly. She walked home differently that evening, the stone in her shoe somehow lighter. She did not know what the future held. She did not know if the ache would ever fully leave. But she knew that 2 small boys with muddy sneakers and borrowed hearts had cracked open, a window in a room she had sealed shut, and that sometimes the most extraordinary grace comes, disguised as a 6-year-old with a gap-toothed smile and no filter whatsoever. Kindness finds us in the most unexpected moments, if only we stay still long enough to receive it. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, share it with someone who needs a little warmth today, and subscribe to Kindness Corner Stories, where every story reminds you that goodness is always closer than you think.